Hey, it's Professor Josh.
And Shannon.
Welcome back for another video. Today, we're going to go on an adventure in the past to Megacon. Because it's been a little bit, but we have lots of footage to show you and lots of things to talk about still. So hopefully you stick around and hear about our adventure at Megacon in Orlando. Professor Josh.
Hey, and Shannon.
We're live from Megacon. We're here hanging out. We're at the Whatnot booth where we'll be tomorrow live streaming and live auctioning. So definitely some cool things to check out. But we're going to check it out on this Saturday.
1:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Well, this video might not post till afterwards. Who knows?
That's true, but if it does.
But they got all kind of great stuff. We're going to give you a little sneak tour around the Whatnot booth.
See you soon.
Alright, so we went to Megacon. It was May 21st and 22nd. We went on Saturday and Sunday. Of course, Saturday was insane, alright?
Yes.
Saturday, no parking at the convention center at all, like left when
no,
we went.
we parked it like a mile away.
More than a mile away. It was like 3 miles.
A mile and a half. It was actually a mile and a half. But it was hot,
like
so it felt like 3 miles.
It was hot. Luckily, we didn't go like full cosplay like outfit on Saturday or anything.
There were people walking around head to toe.
Yeah. Walking through the Florida humidity and heat and everything like that to get there. But we went there because we actually got tickets from Whatnot. Yes. Because we're going to be a featured auction on Sunday afternoon. But we got tickets for the weekend. So we got to go show up and got vendor passes and got in. And they were snuck in the quick way, I guess.
Also give one for our son, too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just us two. He was able to join us as well.
So we went on Saturday. Of course, Saturday's like packed. And first thing we do is finally get there after like 5 miles of walking. Swear, it was like craziness. And we finally get there, get inside. First thing you see, though, is the Whatnot booth.
Yep, they were front and center.
So that was pretty cool. They had a really cool booth. This is a booth that I guess they're doing at several cons. I think they have several recent cons, fan expo cons and things like that. I think in Dallas was one, maybe in Denver. There's supposed to be a San Diego Comic-Con coming up.
Cool.
Whatnot, why aren't you sending me there? Come on. Come on. All right, so...
Although, there's a lot of people at Megacon. I'm not sure how well I'd handle San Diego Comic-Con.
At least get me a vendor pass and get me in the back door.
Right.
And I can just go check out the Funko booth and all that kind of stuff. So, some cool stuff at the Whatnot booth itself. It was set up really neat because there was, like, stations there for 3 or 4 different live auctions happening at one time.
Oh, you're right, maybe 4.
So there was like someone doing comic books, there was someone doing card break, there was someone doing Funko Pops. All those kind of things were all happening at one time throughout.
And they had everything set up for us too. There was a phone already logged in and everything, so that we didn't have to worry about the Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi was terrible.
Yeah.
It was a really neat like a circle,
like,
and
we saw people coming at us from all different directions.
Yeah, so while you're auctioning, you could see people, behind you. It was pretty neat.
It was pretty neat. We had a good time, but also at the Whatnot booth, they had a really cool soda machine.
They did.
So we went there and checked out the soda machine. And you went, and you were the first person.
Yes.
You put in your little number.
You had to be a Whatnot. You'd have the
app.
User,
yeah.
You had to be a user of the app, and so once you gave them your username, you could go to one of the vending machines, and you didn't have to put anything in. You just, you just picked whichever one you wanted. And by the time we got there on Saturday, they were practically sold out.
Like halfway sold out. You put it in, you got it. There was 2 different types of sodas. We actually got both. So that's cool. We got both different ones. I guess
different can styles.
Yeah, different can styles. We'll show you those in a second here. And we got to open them. And as we kind of went through and looked at them and opened them, you had a chance to win prizes. So you could either get I guess they went the arcade style. So you got a token, redemption token, that you could turn in for Funko Pops or Pokemon cards or different things.
I think they had Legos too as well.
Yeah, they had all kinds of different things that, Whatnot sells. And then you also, if you didn't get that though, everyone got a pin / looks like a token thing. So we opened ours up. We got, sadly, just pins. But they were cold too when we got them.
They were. It was really neat that they were cold.
But I love the design on these. They have a really cool design. This one is more like arcade style, limited to 2,000 cans, so it's kind of like a Funko soda itself. It's limited.
And this was the design for the other one.
Easier top to open than Funko soda. So,
well, I don't know.
But it just... Oh, maybe mine was. Maybe yours not. But it had a little...
Wait, it's the same thing.
Had a little token in there. Like a little whatnot guy. It looked like a little arcade token.
Oh, so, now it came off.
Very cool. Cool thing to have in there. So we each got a can for us. Mm-hmm. So it was a great thing to grab. We all got a can.
You know, you wanted to scan that.
But this is Whatnot Cola. I don't know what yours says.
Whatnot Cola.
But different
But again,
font.
the design is Space
is
Invader,
like
Galaga type, you know.
All like
whatever
old,
that
like
one.
80s kind of arcade machine that we actually played. That kind of thing. So really cool to that. And then also, like I said, live auctions were going on, happening. But they also had a cool selfie area.
They
like
did.
This mirror, neon lights, 80s looking mirror type thing.
Very, very bright. So, colorful.
We checked that out. Shannon got to get a selfie. Show you
pictures.
Get a selfie there.
You can see my really bad Jessica Jones cosplay. I wasn't wearing the jacket. It was hot.
So really cool mirror. You see a lot of people on Instagram posting photos from it and things like that. It was just a fun looking setup. They had people, of course, answering questions. Right. People were coming up to us when we were doing live auctions, asking us, thinking we worked for Whatnot, trying to ask us questions. Well, I gave them my card though. I had my card on me. Here's $10 off. Sign up using my code. Here you go. All those kind of things. So really fun. But they also had something else really cool there.
And I wish
we
one
didn't
of
get
us
to do
would
it.
But the line was always so
crazy.
long.
It was always crazy.
I don't like waiting.
We were busy with trying to run around and do stuff and everything like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have talked to someone from Whatnot sliding us in there.
That would have felt rude.
People were waiting. But there was a giant human claw machine. I saw several people doing it. All kinds of different prizes. Some were in a mystery box or a mystery bag. Some were just sitting out there and you could go grab one. But they had them down.
You were literally strapped up like a claw machine, and they dropped you into this, and I think you were blindfolded, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And you scooped like you would with your arms, and they had Whatnot.
I don't know if you could
bags
just grab
with
one
stuff
thing per person.
Yeah,
or
we
what.
didn't get a chance to do it, so it would have been fun though.
It looked like a lot of fun. They had a really cool booth set up, so if you see them at a con, go check out their booth because it was really neat. It was really neat to see other people doing their auctions and all kinds of stuff going on. Also, at there, they had live auctions from celebrities.
Yes.
So one of the people that we bought stuff from, we opened, of course, a few weeks ago, or week ago maybe on the channel, was the autographed Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes stuff. So we got to see that there. Too bad we couldn't just take it home with us afterwards. But I bought it on the app, live from them while they were on the app. They had other people. I seen Ashley and Eckstein there. I saw a couple of the other anime voice artists and stuff like that. So it was really neat to see everyone kind of doing different stuff there live, and they were promoting different things on the channel. So we had a really good auction.
We did.
I think we had a lot of fun. It was another long auction. We haven't done a long auction
it was
3 hours.
3 hours.
Like that for a while. So not since old school Whatnot when we started. We used to do 4-hour auction. Kind of craziness.
Oh, thank you.
That stuff. So of course we had to go check out everything else.
Everything.
I mean everything else. So
there's a lot because the the Orange County Convention Center is huge.
Saturday was kind of congested, hard to get around.
Very.
Sunday we went earlier, almost an hour before even the show opened. We got parking at the convention center that time. Luckily, because we had to carry all the puffs in too.
Yes.
So luckily we got parking at the convention center and everything. But also it was a lot easier to walk around. We checked out a lot of stuff. I mean, there was really cool artwork from anime to other artists. I know you saw artists there. Well, one we've bought stuff from before.
Yes.
At least one.
I'm gonna say it wrong. Art of... Okay, you know what? You talk. I'm gonna make sure I say this right, because his work is awesome.
So it's cool, there's different styles that look like old newspaper, magazine prints, and things like that, right? But, turned into, Marvel, or DC, or all these different things. So that booth was really cool to check out. There's so many other artists, too. Selling stuff.
Okay, so his name is Al Abazia, I think. Abbazia.
Okay.
But, in fact, one of the first things that he has on his Instagram is actually something that is hanging in our house right now. I have this Captain Carter one, and I also have a similar one that's Norman Rockwell style of Captain America as well. They're hanging out right over there, and we saw his booth, and he had some really cool stuff. I love his work.
And Jack found something he liked a lot from another artist who was like the total artist dude. Like the leather jacket, shirtless underneath.
Tattoos.
Like a thing of Jack Daniels, a thing of Corona.
Yeah, I was gonna, no. He had like a rum, he had a Jack, he had like 4 or 5 different liquors.
So he does art on glass, but he does all kinds of different ones. And one of the ones our son saw was Samus, and it was a really cool print. He had the glass one there. We couldn't afford the glass one.
I think it was like 1,000?
Like 1,000 plus. It was the original, the one he makes the print off. But he dug in and found us a print.
He did. It was the last one of Samus.
Yeah.
And then he signed it for Jack. And while we were waiting for him to sign it, he and I did a shot together.
Yeah,
so
he was like, "Hey, you want to do a shot?" So he did a shot. It was fun. And I mean, so much artwork, so many people T-shirts, like the huge booth that one
oh my
really
gosh, it
giant
looked like
booth.
a 2-story building with just T-shirts. No,
that's the thing. Like it was hard to find stuff because if you didn't have something that stood out big, you get lost in that place to try to find someone's numbered booth. Or what were you looking for? JSA forever. We walked around and walked around. Yeah. We were like, oh, we need JSA to authenticate what pops and stuff we got signed and things like that. So we went all over the place. So, that kind of thing. Loungefly, we saw Pops and Sons collectibles there. We saw other people, of course, selling lots of Loungefly. So Shannon found a couple things she liked, but we didn't really get a ton of stuff there. We kind of held ourselves back. Because we know sometimes also con prices can be higher, especially Funko Pops and other things.
Well, because they have to pay because it's not cheap to pay for the booth to be a seller there. So they're pushing up their prices to make up for the selling fees and the fact that some of these people travel, so all those travel fees, and I get that, but so that's why we were like, if we saw something, we're like, we'll find it somewhere else.
We did pick up some Funko sodas from them, though.
We did.
We got some cases. We did them live on our auction, and we did some other stuff as giveaways and things like that. We saw tons of Funko Pops, so all kinds of booths, of course. Some of them I've known because we do other shows with smaller shows here in Orlando. Other things like Coliseum Comics had a really big booth, and they had the big statues out, Hulk and stuff to take pictures with. That was kind of cool, seeing a lot of that stuff out there. We were looking for statues, so different kind of anime statues and stuff like that, or
Jack was
Nintendo
looking
one,
for
the Samus statue. He couldn't find it.
That's why he ended up getting the Samus artwork because he couldn't find a figure that he wanted. So
another booth we saw had those custom glasses. So the glasses with different things on them,
etched glasses,
a bunch of etched glasses. Of course, you need to be careful touching that booth. You don't want to break anything at that booth.
I had to step away because I don't need any more wine glasses or glasses in general. So, I loved a lot of the stuff, but I had to back up. But there was also a booth that I really liked that I couldn't afford anything at either, was custom leather jackets.
Oh, yeah.
The leather jackets were really neat. Some of them looked like Captain Marvel. There was a Mandalorian one. There was some Power Rangers ones, but they were really, they had vegan leather or real leather, but they were really well done. It's just a little outside my budget.
So another place we went and walked around and found was a cool booth that does a lot of cosplay stuff and replicas and things like that. So they make stuff. You can either props and paint it, or replicas of stuff and paint them.
So you had two options. You could buy it undone.
Or finished. Depending on what it is. So we were looking around. There was all kinds of guns and weapons and phasers and blasters.
Oh, yeah.
And, things from Indiana Jones, things from the Goonies was one thing that I saw. So that's one thing I picked up that was pretty affordable, and I wanted it kind of go with the Goonies pops I have, the Goonies collection. Of course, it's the Goonies key. I thought it looked really good. Pretty simple. So definitely we picked this one up to add to our collection, put with our Goonies pops.
And I was going to buy my brother the Equilibrium gun, but unfortunately they didn't have any left the next day when I went back. So, but there were other cool things. They had the Skelegro bottles from Harry Potter. and a few other neat things. But one of the things that they picked up was a prop, basically, was the license plate from Supernatural. Throughout the series, they had several...
Baby's license.
Yeah, they had several different license plates throughout the series. Ohio was one of the first ones. I believe later on in the series they went to Kansas, and a different thing, but this is one of the older ones, so we picked this up to add to our Supernatural collection.
So we saw some other people we've seen before. We saw Zobi Productions. Zobi had a big setup there. Another person I was looking for was actually Plastic Empire had a big setup there. Of course, they have some autographs. They had Pops for sale, but they also had Chomps for sale because the founder of Chomps was there. So Connor was there, and I was like, I want to buy a Chomp, and I want you to sign it. So I don't have a signed Chomp from him, so I heard he was going to be there. So we actually took a picture together. So you'll see that here. Kind of hanging out, taking a picture together. But I got 2 Chomps. I got 2 different Chomps from him. I got the astronaut Chomp, and this one is really cool. He signed the box and he signed the Chomp itself, so you can show him the other one.
He did get a mini Yeti Chomper. So he signed the box here, and he even dated it, so it says 2020. It says 22. So I'm assuming,
So. I won't take this guy all the way out of the box, but you can see there he signed it right there. So it's pretty cool that he signed this one. This one was one of the ones that sold out too. So it was a really neat design. This was submitted by someone. So Anna Bernal submitted the
That's
major
cool.
Chomp. So,
I like the detail on him.
Yeah, it looks really good. So I got this one. I already had one, but I didn't have one signed. So.
This is the little mini. He signed it right there. Little mini
I love
Yeti.
the Chomper. So very cool ones. Of course, that was great to meet him, and I appreciate Chomps. Of course, you've seen us open a bunch of different ones on the channel and a bunch of different ones in the background here. But then we had to go over to the autographs area too. So autograph area, of course, was crazy. Like it normally is.
On where you
depending
were.
on the person and timing, and when people had to leave for their photo sessions or separate autograph photo sessions they did.
Certain celebrities you had to book in advance. They wouldn't do a walk-up only. So Brendan Fraser, for example, was one that I had wanted, but he sold out and he didn't do a walk-up. So if you hadn't bought a time slot, you couldn't go in and just walk up, which was a little frustrating, but understandable considering if you saw some of the lines. Ashley Eckstein's line, if you don't know Ahsoka from Star Wars Rebels and Clone Wars, she had her line was there was no way we were standing in that line
for $250, $300 when they're signed, because you stand in line for 4 or 5 hours kind of waiting for her, stuff like that. But we happened to find a couple people that we were excited about seeing, actually, that we brought PopFourceOne, and then we first found...
We didn't know one was going to be there.
No, because they didn't say.
He actually, no, I did know he was going to be there.
Really late, though.
Yeah, he was a late edition. A very late edition. In fact, I didn't notice until 2-3 days beforehand. He must have been added because somebody else's dropped, but it was Mark Shepard from Supernatural. He played Crowley. He's been on Doctor Who. He's been on Firefly, a bunch of other stuff as well. So, but his main role that everybody, I think, knows him from is Crowley from Supernatural. And we stood in line, and we were standing in line for James Marsters. Spike from Buffy, and I looked over and I was like, wait, that's Mark Shepard. And then I went, wait, there's no one in line. So I ran over, saw the prices, ran back because it always cash only, stole some cash from him, ran up, and I got to talk to him for a minute. Now they had options. You could pay for just a picture, just a signature, or you could pay for a signature and a selfie with them. So I did that's why I needed more cash. So I ran back so I could do the selfie as well. So you can see there. But the guy running it was really funny. He's like, okay, so this is Mark's favorite picture. And this is my favorite picture. And he goes, but whenever he signs this one, he always signs it on Misha Castiel, the actor's, his butt. I won't say the other word. And I went, well, of course that's the picture that I want. So I went over and I talked to him, and we talked for a few minutes and took our picture, and I got his signature on Castiel's rear.
So the funny thing is, she got the signature in the picture, and then the next day I remembered I had 2 Crowley Funko Pops.
Well, they came in on Saturday.
They came out on Saturday, and I was like, I'm getting those signed. So we actually went back. I went back and got this one signed, and do you remember her? Do you remember this broad?
Yes,
Shannon?
He called me a broad. But in his defense, My name is a river in Ireland.
So
he called me a broad, majestic river.
So I got this one signed, and then of course went over to GSA. We actually got 2 signed. We sold one on our auction because we were like, let's sell it on auction. People really were interested in. People couldn't go to the con.
I will say, I think he knows that's what we did.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, what name do you want on there? And I was like, oh, no, none. And he kind of side-eyed me, and I was like...
So, and then, of course, while she was getting her thing signed and getting a photo, I went over and saw the Spike. We had the Pop already.
Yes,
and we actually had, I brought the other one the next day. We had another double of one, but he was just leaving for his photo shoot.
Now, I did actually get to, his line was a little longer than Mark Shepard, so after I got my picture with Mark Shepard, I did run in line, and I did get to meet James Marsters, who was extremely nice. Yeah. And when we asked him how he felt being there, he admitted that it was great. He loved it. He enjoyed meeting everybody. He said it was a wonderful ego boost. But then he got to go home, and all of his normal friends would kind of knock him back down a couple pegs, and he's
normal that are like plumbers, electricians, and stuff like that. So, they're like, oh, this acting thing you do. What is this thing?
But otherwise, he was a really, really nice gentleman. So if you ever get a chance to meet him, do so.
And then, of course, checked out cosplay. Saw all kinds of cosplay there.
Much.
There was a really cool Star Wars area that I checked out, and you walked over to. I got a little bit of that, so you saw like people dressed as Ahsoka, Jawas, stormtroopers,
but they even
Mandalorians, all kinds of different things.
My favorite part was the Jawas. Yeah. They had this little setup that kind of looked like a Jawa shop, and they had a little Jawa back there.
It was like a town.
Yeah, it looked like a little town, and he would stop and take pictures. But when you weren't taking pictures, he was tinkering with stuff. It was cute.
I saw a whole band of like sand people coming by me one time.
Yes, the Tusken Raiders.
The Tusken Raiders. Yes. They were hanging out there. I saw a really cool retro Mandalorian. So a really cool retro Mandalorian.
The blue.
Yeah, the really blue one. Yeah, that was kind of neat.
There's stormtroopers. The 501st was definitely there. At least part of them.
There was a giant area where they had a Ghostbuster car and the vehicles
they had
and
the
stuff.
Echo one.
And then another area where they had Motu, where they had the Battle Cat and stuff, and people could pose and do pictures and
he was next to
all
Hulk.
kinds of stuff. So you see like Motu to the Ghostbusters to the DeLorean to something for everyone. They also had these guys with giant mech night suit.
Yeah, I don't think they're
I saw them with them on, but they weren't walking around inside. I don't think they could get inside where the con was. They're staying out, but their suits were awesome. Like if you see these well designed, pretty awesome, and probably really hot.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that a lot of people were sweating that day.
So we found a lunch one day. We sat down. We're eating, of course, like on the floor, wherever you could find to eat lunch, whatever. Outside of like the convention center, like it was like just like a hallway, big area. Like they had food vendors and
basically just where the doorways are.
And
yeah, we sat
like
down
outside of the main all the booths
hall.
And everything like that, the main hall.
So we sat down and leaned against a pole and we're chatting and eating lunch, and
all these
we were invaded.
Spider-Man started coming around and
tons of Spider-Man.
Are you Spider-Man?
There had to be at least 50 of them.
Like all this stuff around.
They got into a big circle, and then they started doing
And then they were like, they saw other people dressed as Spider-Man and telling them like, come down, and Peter Parker.
There were Peter Parker, there were Miles Morales, and Gwen, and all of them.
All the different universes. Spider-Verses were there. That was really neat. We did see our friends from the Maker Faire there too. They were set up. So Maker Faire here in Orlando, they do every November. They have their Maker Faire here, so we always go check it out. Sometimes we have a booth there with work and things like that. I've been to.
I hope you remember when Maker Faire happens, because it usually happens on our anniversary.
Well, usually it's like that weekend, that timing right there. But they also had, of course, we knew they were there where they were because they had their giant Makey.
Yes.
You can't miss the giant blow-up Makey. And then inside, it was really cool to see because they had the bike, the boombox bike, the boom bike, and then the other light bike. Those were really cool, like the one with different lights on it, like in the middle of it too. They had the boombox one.
They had 3D printing.
They had other
crushing.
Stuff going on.
The can crushing was cool.
So they had a bunch of different cool things there. So Megacon Adventure was pretty awesome. We didn't really buy Funko Pops. We got some signed.
Yeah.
But we didn't really go there to buy a ton of stuff. We went there to sell on Sunday and do the auction. That was a lot of fun. Like I said, a good time. But
you didn't buy it. I got.
you got earrings too.
I got my supernatural earrings.
I saw some stuff I liked, but I just kind of passed on. It wasn't that time. It was just kind of like, do I need it? Do I not need it? Kind of thing. But, it was a great time, and thanks for Whatnot for having us out there, bringing us out. Hopefully we can do it again. Hopefully they come back to Megacon. I want to definitely go out there on Thursday, Friday next time. More so. Thursday, Friday, Sunday, skip Saturday. Saturday just is too busy for a con.
Yeah.
It's just the craziest day. It's the day you don't want to go.
Well, with so many people there, the reception's also terrible.
Hard to walk around, hard to get a hold of people when you're trying to find your friends.
Yeah.
All those kind of things. But for overall, it was a good time.
Yeah.
We had a great time checking out everything and wandering around. And Saturday was no pressure because we didn't really have anything we had to do. Sunday we had the auction, so we kind of had like a time frame of drop off the pops, go check out stuff, come back, and set up for the auction.
But our friends were there on Saturday and Sunday with us, and they were very nice and sat and helped us while we were auctioning. So if we called out a pop, my friend would look through, and her daughter would help us, and Jack would help us as well. So that really made things smooth.
And they had a lot of fun. I know they went to do some photo signings and autographs and the picture.
Her daughter got a picture with Ashley Eckstein.
So we saw several people that like the channel too out there. We ran into several people, so it was great to see a lot of people out there. But definitely, hopefully we get back to Megacon sometime soon. What do they need to do?
Like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications.
We hope to see you at a con sometime in the future.
Okay.
Bye everyone.